Hi everybody, I'm Sharon Fradkin. I'm the host of Get Fresh Cooking Show, Stoughton's own cooking show, and my fabulous chef, Carlos Vargas, who used to be a sous chef.
He used to be a
but
chef.
Boy, does he cook a lot now, so we're calling him chef.
Oh my God.
I know, and you see the pictures on Facebook that he posts of the dinner he made. A lot of them are plant-based, using grains, using greens. We decided to focus a show on that subject for you. Also, plant-based diets are in. Everybody says they're the healthiest way to eat.
Yep.
When I was in Florida this past winter, I saw a whole movie on whole food plant-based diets. So many stars, so many doctors talking about the healthiness of this type of eating.
Right.
So these can be lunches, these can be suppers, these can be outdoor. And they're fast and easy. You're going to see. We're going to do 3 recipes in a half hour.
Right.
So the first one is a roasted veggie plate. And that's going to feature farro.
Farro, right. So you buy farro in these bags. Sometimes it's not very easy to find at the market. I think we're finding them at Ocean State Job Lot, but or you can go online.
But I found that at Stop and Shop.
Right.
That's for the
so
next
this
recipe.
So this is a bulgur bag, but the farro comes in a bag. You should take it out of the bag and put it in an airtight container. As you can see, we marked ours with farro. And then when it cooks into a creamy.
To me, it's like cereal.
It is. It's
like
funny.
Hot cereal.
I cooked this yesterday morning. I had it for breakfast with some cran raisins, some walnuts, and a little bit of honey. So my breakfast was farro yesterday.
And so it's a wonderful grain. So grains have protein.
They do.
Grains have fiber.
Really healthy.
Yeah, they're really healthy.
And a really nutty flavor.
Yeah, so they're a little bit crispy too. They give you a little texture.
And there's different types of farro. So there's whole farro, pearled farro, and semi-pearled farro.
Well, and sort of like barley, which people know pretty well.
Right.
You know, there's pearl barley, and the same with couscous, which is a pasta. But these are grains. These are better.
And the difference is the pearl takes off the outer edge, so it's been processed. We buy the whole, which takes a little longer to cook. It's maybe a 45-minute cooking process, but you get the whole grain. You get the outer husk and everything else.
So it's really a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
So this first recipe is called a roasted veggie plate with an herb dressing.
Right.
So what's in it?
It's really simple. So it's got shallot, some asparagus, a carrot, and really whatever 3 or 4 different things that you have in
Uses some
the
lemon
refrigerator.
zest, so we'll talk
lemon
about how to
as well.
zest a lemon.
Exactly. So if you want to chop that up, Sharon,
I can certainly do that.
I'm just going to clean. You can do that.
Now show how you do that.
Sure.
People wonder how to know what to break off.
Asparagus, when they're fresh.
Yeah.
When they're fresh,
They snap.
They
and
snap.
where it snaps off is what you throw away below.
Right. So I usually just eye it, right?
Yep.
And then what I do is then I just give it one of these.
Yep. Get rid of it.
So then they're all done.
This is in slices, correct? Or
Right.
is
It
this
is
shredded.
slices. Yeah. So we're gonna.
So we're just cutting. Carrots are pretty easy. We've cleaned it already.
Right.
So that's easy.
So we have that.
And the asparagus, Carlos and I were discussing, there's those little pointy things.
Right,
We
the
don't
heads to
take
them?
them
I don't,
off.
yeah.
Some people will peel them off.
I actually like the
taste
flavor.
of it.
They actually have almost a different flavor than the rest of the stem.
Right.
I think that's where the bulb starts to form its
And
seed.
we wash everything first.
Yeah,
So the
everything's
asparagus
washed.
has been washed, the carrot's been cleaned and washed, everything, even the outside of rind of a lemon,
Yeah.
because we're using that rind, you need to
And wash.
give it a quick wash.
And we're having these recipes, right? So
The recipes you'll find online are full recipes, maybe serve 6 or 8, and this is something for 4,
Right.
because we're not that many people sitting
Right,
here.
so we're just gonna do
So
this.
this is a shallot.
So just shallot, the carrots, right?
I wanted to talk about shallots for a minute. They're in the onion family. These are jumbo shallots, so they're bigger, but they make smaller ones. They're a little bit lighter and less intense than an onion. And I also like Cipollino onions, which are
I
much
love those,
smaller
right,
and
yeah.
delicious.
Flatter ones.
So what are you putting in there?
A little bit, some olive oil. It called for 2 tablespoons of olive oil, some kosher salt, and some pepper. So I'm just going to do this.
This is pretty much how you roast any vegetable.
Right.
You can throw them all in a baking pan, put oil and salt and pepper, mix them up, and bake them.
Right.
High heat, usually.
Yeah, exactly. 450 for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just going to pop this in here because this looks pretty dainty because it's only half the recipe.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So,
Otherwise, it'd be a lot more.
Yeah. So for 15 minutes. So then what we're going to do, we're going to do the vinaigrette for it, right?
Right.
Grab a
Exactly.
bowl. And the vinaigrette it has what? It has,
The white wine vinegar.
yeah, the white wine vinegar.
So I just want to show you guys,
Yeah.
I have been having fun at Stop and Shop with various different kinds of wine vinegars. This one is an orange blossom honey, aceto balsamic bianco, so white
Bianco.
balsamic. And they have some in raspberry, they have some blush. You can get a lot of different flavors just by fooling around.
Sure. Yeah,
So
there's
there
many,
you
many
go.
different flavors. Could you just maybe zest about half of that onion?
So zesting a lemon,
Lemon.
you can use this type of a tool that's a zester. The zest is basically just the skin. See, I don't like this. I like this, which is really almost like a grater, and that just gives you the zest. Now, in the zest, you don't want to go into the white, you just want
Right.
the lemon part, the yellow part. How much zest do you
We're looking
need?
for about a quarter of a tablespoon. I just put a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar in there, a little bit of twist of black pepper,
Okay.
like a lot of pepper.
So this has small and large. I'm thinking I'm going
Yep.
to switch to the larger one because I'm not getting enough. That's good. So I'm getting a little bit of the white there. There's a lot of tools that make your life easier in the kitchen,
Yeah, some
and
things
this is
make our
one of
life,
them.
right?
So how much did you want? Quarter of a teaspoon?
Yep. I think we
Yeah,
have more than enough there,
pretty much have
right?
that, yeah, because
just shake
there's
that in
always
here.
a lot on the
Yep.
back. Okay.
And we're just going to whisk this around a little bit. I think I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in here.
Okay, never mind if you want to do that.
Doesn't call for it, but can't hurt.
It always helps, right?
It always helps. So I know it doesn't look like much, but we're just going to use a little bit of the arugula. So all that does that.
Okay,
So this calls for roasted almonds,
Right.
Right. So we
bought them at Stop and Shop. They're already roasted.
they gave them to us at Stoughton Shop.
I'm sorry, we
Right.
didn't buy them. I apologize because they have been so generous.
They're great.
They're such a community partner.
They are.
So
They're great.
when you wanted to roast these yourself, what do you do?
Just a little bit of olive oil, some cayenne pepper, and salt.
And slay it on a baking?
400, 425 for 15, 20 minutes. That's how I did these.
These are pecans
These
and
are
these are for
pecans.
another recipe, or are
Yeah.
they for this one? No, the next
The
one.
next one. So again, so we can roast our own, or we can just buy them already
Correct.
roasted.
I
at
thought
the
it would be
market.
easier since we're cooking 3 different recipes in a half hour.
Right. And the only
Okay.
thing we need is some Parmesan cheese. We'll wait on this here a little
Okay,
bit.
yeah. So we probably will do the second recipe,
So we're
which
gonna-
doesn't require any baking at all. This is a simple recipe. This is a nectarine salad, and it's made with bulgur. So let me talk again, when we're talking about grains. Can I have the square thing of bulgur there? Sorry, the square container?
Yep.
Ye-
Correct.
There it goes, and the bag. So I just wanted to show you, I taped it shut already, but now I already learned from Carlos it needs to go in a
And
different kind of a packaging. Okay. So this is called red bulgur, and it's grains of discovery, and this is Bob's Red Mill, which honestly, a lot of they make a full
Do a great
line of
job.
grains, and most markets do have them. And this says the traditional grain of the Levant. Now, I'm not too sure what
That
that is.
sounds fancy.
But it says circa 6,000 BC.
Right.
This is, it's not this bag of grain, but this is an old grain.
It's been around for a while.
And this cooked so easily, it's just like cooking rice.
Yeah,
When you take it from the
easier,
bag-
right? Easier than cooking rice.
Well, it's shorter.
Yeah.
But you just
absolutely.
dump it in some water. When it boils, you cover it and let it sit for 10, 15 minutes. Drain out any water, and this is what you end up with, which looks a lot like the farro,
Right.
honestly, and it's definitely a grain you
Because
can eat for breakfast. It's cereal.
It's wheat berries that have been
It
chopped
is.
up, right? Isn't that what
it's a wheat.
that bulgur
So
is?
this is not a gluten-free grain, although many are. But you can eat this for cereal in the morning. You can do anything you want with it. Okay, so what's this recipe?
So this one is the nectarine and bulgur salad. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting the nectarines into eighths, and what I do is I just grab it here. I kind of go down the middle of it, kind of down this
Break it in,
dimple,
turn it,
turn it, and it comes out.
and you get the pit. We've talked
Right.
about doing this before.
And I usually just do that, and that just allows me to pull the pit off,
Right. And that makes it really simple, and you get really wonderful wedges.
right? And I'm just going to chop these up into halves, and this one, I'll chop it this way.
Now, this recipe, we're making the whole recipe.
Yes, I'm making the whole recipe. And we need some fresh basil. Basil.
It's
Do I have
there,
basil here?
underneath, yeah, in
Oh,
the
I see
open container.
So we
There
have
it
some
is.
fresh basil.
We've got parsley, we've got basil.
If you want to maybe just chop up
Chop
some
up the
leaves
basil.
there,
So
that'd be
just so
great.
you know, you don't use the bottom parts. You just use the leaves. So this gets tossed. How much do we need of this?
We need quarter of a cup. And
Oh,
it
that's
calls-
probably not
actually,
too much.
I'm sorry, we're doing the whole, so we
Yeah,
need a half a cup.
Half a
so.
cup. So I'm going to use the big knife for this, people. I don't use the big knife a lot, but
And
it's
it calls
worthwhile.
for parsley as well. So
Yeah.
I'm going to chop that here. You can pull the stems all apart, or you can grab them
I
all
need the
out.
half cup measure, if it's
Sure.
over there somewhere.
Yep.
We're getting close, but probably a little bit more. And you know, these things really you can eyeball. You know, if it's a tad under, a tad over, it's not going to change the taste
right.
any. I'm leaving this sort of a little bit of a rough chop. You can do it really small if you choose to. But I love the smell and taste of basil. This is a half cup.
That's a half cup
Okay. I'm stuffing them all in there, people.
over there.
Okay. So here's the basil.
Great. And I think probably have a little bit more than a half a cup there, but.
Right, and we
think we'll
need a
find-
cup of farro.
Cup of farro.
Where's my cup measure around the back there?
This one
Okay.
here?
I think it says a cup, so.
Bulgur or farro?
Oh, I'm sorry, this is the bulgur.
Yep.
I get confused with the grains. There we are. Okay, so what do you do?
So we just combine it all in, combine it into the, here,
Everything?
everything.
Easy. This is
Easy,
easy,
right?
people.
It's about a
Same
quarter of a cup.
same with the,
It's all there, yep.
everything. So
Everything in.
it's like a meal in 2 seconds,
right.
to be honest
Yep.
with you.
And we need to whisk some lemon juice
Okay?
and some olive oil.
So I'm going to cut this in half.
Yep.
And they say use your fingers in case there's any pits, that you catch them.
And that's for 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
And how much lemon juice?
2 tablespoons?
Oh, yeah, we
I'm sorry,
got enough.
tablespoons, yeah, both I think.
We got plenty. And I did catch the pits in my
Yeah,
fingers, so
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, maybe a
You
little bit
need a
more.
little more?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Oh, that looks really good already.
It does, right?
It's a colorful meal, and that's another reason that, there we go.
And I need 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
Olive oil.
Yeah.
So this, I should tell you, neither Carlos nor I have made these recipes
First
before.
time on this one, yeah.
So this is our first time making them, and they're recipes that we either saw in magazines or friends told us about. And you can see how easy they are, because we're not like
Yeah, we haven't
chefs.
practiced this one.
Yeah, right. So mix this.
Yes, please.
Woo!
And it calls for
Salt and pepper.
half a teaspoon
That's
of
a half
honey.
a tablespoon.
Yeah, so I'm just going to throw about a quarter in there.
Yeah,
It's
coming.
How about if I just eye it?
yeah. We'll just eyeball it.
That
So
should be
honey,
it.
honey sits and then it
Crystallizes,
gets
right?
hard and crystallized. We just let it sit in warm water for a
Exactly.
while, and it's all back
So
again.
that's what happened here.
What else?
And then we need a half a teaspoon of poppy seeds.
If it were me, I would be putting more honey in there.
Would you?
Yep, that's just
So
me.
let's try it.
Okay, I have to. Ooh, that lemon burned my hand.
You like it sweeter?
I do. Well, I
Okay.
like everything sweeter. I'm not the jalapeno girl or the pepper person. You know.
So
Yeah,
we'll
if it's
do that.
sweeter is better. That's
So I
my
bet you
motto.
probably have a half a
Okay.
tablespoon in
Oh,
there.
yeah, that looks better right away. And no salt and pepper or anything in this?
no salt and pepper there, no.
Poppy seeds.
Poppy seeds, so
Ah,
calls for half a teaspoon of poppy seeds.
you see poppy seeds used with strawberry salads, things like that. But
Right.
this is so much better because you have the grain in it.
That's for the next one here.
So does that get mixed in?
It's mixed all and it's done.
Okay.
Simple.
So do it.
Just going to grab a fork
Okay.
over here.
But, you know, we can mix it with this even. It looks fabulous, truly.
Yeah, some
So
great summer
pretty.
colors, right?
Yeah, wonderful summer colors. And this is half the recipe. So you can easily, oh no, this is the whole
this
recipe.
is the full recipe,
So
yeah.
you may want to double this if you have a crowd
Right.
coming for lunch. I shouldn't say this, so maybe I won't. I was going to say it's a great ladies' lunch on the patio, but I know Carlos would like to be eating it too, and everybody else
I
around
could
here.
hang out with the ladies.
So
I
yeah,
have no problem with that.
yeah. So I guess ladies' lunch is my age showing. Sorry. So that looks beautiful, and let's find a nice plate for that. Though it looks really nice
It does,
in the bowl.
doesn't it?
And how are and the veggies are roasting
Probably
still.
another 2 minutes there. I think the veggies should be done.
Okay.
And this is with bulgur, not farro, right?
Correct.
So that's what
This
we're
is the
doing
one
here.
with bulgur. There's not much difference. You could make this with
Right.
farro if you
Yeah.
happen to have a lot of farro in the refrigerator already prepared.
Right.
There you are. So look at that. Isn't that delish?
Nice and simple.
Sorry to be Rachel Ray.
Right.
So our next recipe is figs and green salad.
Figs and greens, yeah.
And this is going to be easy. We
Another
love
simpler.
figs.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but
So
we're
you can
using the
use,
dry.
Right, so you can use fresh figs, you can use the dry ones. If you're using the dry ones, you have to cut off this top here, cut them into quarters, right? And this one is a really simple. So this one calls for mixed greens, right? Are we using
Yeah,
arugula on this one?
we're using the spring mix.
Yeah,
It could be arugula. I think it can also always be kale.
right, could be anything.
Yeah. So how many figs do you need? Because I'm cutting some too.
Yeah, I think I
for
can
ya.
do this if you want to do the dressing for it.
Sure.
I can take care of the
There's
rest
a few
of it.
of those.
Perfect.
Okay. So the dressing, let's see. Balsamic vinegar, honey, and 2 tablespoons of oil and a little bit of salt.
Balsamic vinegar
So balsamic vinegar and honey
and salt.
and salt. I periodically watch Chopped or some of the cooking
Yeah.
shows, and inevitably the comment is, it would be great, just needs more
More
salt.
salt.
It would be, and you know, the whole world is don't eat salt, don't eat
Right.
salt, don't eat salt, and this would be great, just use more salt. So let's see how much of this we need. 2 teaspoons. So, and again, this is orange blossom honey, white balsamic vinegar. So 3 teaspoons and a tablespoon, so
Yep.
I'm going to use 2/3, which should be fine. And salt, just a little bit, and the honey.
So, and this calls for a shredded carrot, so I'm just going to,
Come on, honey.
yeah, it was
Can you go in
really
here?
crystallized, so.
Yeah. Okay, and some salt. This is a really neat salt thing. Just opens up and you can take a pinch. There's regular salt and kosher salt,
Yes,
which
there
is
is.
probably better. Okay, I feel like this could use a little more of this because I put in more honey. Okay,
So that is done. Carrots are done.
okay.
And it all just. So I'm going to take a bowl. I'm going to put the chickpeas and the arugula. So these are chickpeas that we got from our friends at Stop and Shop as well.
Absolutely, and it's Nature's Promise, which
Yeah,
is their brand, but
brand.
it's the healthy brand.
Right, and I've pulled them out and I've drained them and I've washed them. That's
Oh,
what the recipe
wonderful.
calls for
Rinse,
them.
so always need to rinse
Yeah,
them.
you
And
rinse.
it's like a 14.5-ounce can.
Right, and then it calls for goat cheese. I have that.
That's
And
right
I'm
there.
going to use a spring mix though, right?
Yep,
Because it calls for,
arugula, but we're using arugula in one of the other recipes, so we thought spring mix would be more interesting for this.
and this has been pre-washed. So
Yes,
the
it
package
has.
says, so,
Numerous times.
yeah,
By the way, feel free to taste when you're cooking.
yeah.
All good chefs taste as they go in case things aren't quite what they want it
Right.
to be.
You can do that.
So what else goes in there? Carrots?
Carrots.
Figs?
I'm going to have a big old spoon. I'm just going
Yeah.
to stir this around a little bit.
Right. And hands are good too.
Yeah.
Hands are really good. If you watch any chefs in restaurants, they're all using their hands.
Right.
Okay, here
That
the figs
goes in
go
here.
in. The carrots go in.
And then we're going to dress it, and then we put the goat cheese on top.
Right.
So
cayenne pepper, was that supposed to be in this dressing? An eighth of a teaspoon?
No,
Yeah.
actually, that was for the nuts that we did.
Oh, talk
so-
about the nuts.
Right, so
Hold it up.
the recipe calls for walnuts. I didn't have any, so I brought some pecans.
Which I happen to like better than
Yeah,
walnuts.
me too. Me too. And I just tossed them in with some olive oil, salt, and some cayenne pepper.
Oh,
So
and so the
that's-
quick roast.
Exactly.
How
Go into the
long?
oven for 450 for about 12 minutes,
Okay,
and it's
so
done.
it's quick.
Yeah, and they're really spicy, and
Yeah,
they pick up that
just what I
cayenne.
don't like, really spicy.
That's right.
Okay, so here's the dressing.
Right, we're gonna throw all of
It
this
doesn't look
in.
like enough.
It doesn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil.
Okay, I think that makes sense.
You never have enough olive oil. right?
Well, there wasn't any in this recipe,
Right.
in the dressing.
And again, you might put a little bit more of the vinegar and
Balsamic,
stuff,
yeah,
but
which we can do it.
yeah.
The vinegar's tough, so you gotta be careful. Do you want more honey?
I think it's sweet enough.
Okie dokie.
So I'm just gonna pour this over here.
Dressing goes far in a salad
It
like
does,
this.
yeah.
Further than you
Throw
think.
this in here.
Put the nuts in,
I'll use my hand.
give it a little mix up. And then the goat cheese gets in pieces. You just kind of break it in
Right.
pieces and lay it on the top.
Right. So I'm gonna put the rest of this on top.
There you go. Oh, that looks
A
wonderful.
bit more.
Now again, look how long it's taking us to do this. It's really just a few minutes.
Right. Pretty quick.
Yep, it was like
Pretty
5
quick.
minutes really to put
It
that
was.
together.
Pretty
Okay,
quick.
so,
The goat cheese.
yeah, let's get that done.
And the goat cheese.
And then
I
we've
use a
got to get this
spoon.
out of the oven.
Yep. You would just want to pop that out.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
And usually what I do with the goat cheese is I kind of do this, and then I put a dollop on top of each plate. So once I break this salad up into like 4 different plates, I
Right.
will then
Put
it-
some in each.
Yeah, a nice
that's
on
good.
top. One more.
Okay.
Done.
So take a look at that. Figs with goat cheese, spring mix,
Pretty quick.
walnuts, chickpeas, pretty quick. Lots of protein, lots of greens, lots of fiber.
Exactly.
Number 2, all done.
Done.
So we've just gotten these roasted vegetables out of the oven.
The oven, right? We're
And we're going to put everything together. This
we're
is
gonna
the
assemble
arugula.
it. So this is the arugula.
It's baby arugula.
It's been
also
pre-washed.
Yes. And this recipe, I think, calls for maybe 5 ounces.
ounces, so-
We're doing, I think, half of this
we are
recipe.
doing half. That's about half
So,
of it.
there you are.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the
That's the
farro,
farro
so I'm just
that we
going to-
cooked before and talked about before.
Right.
And that goes in there. But still a different taste than the earlier salad with the nectarines.
right, and the chickpeas, right?
Right. Now, that's
So-
another one.
So then what we do was
So this is the dressing.
the dressing that we
had
made
made
earlier.
earlier.
right.
Correct.
Just kind of. Again, you can put more dressing if you like, or you can just
Right.
put olive oil, or really any type of dressing.
Whatever you like.
Right.
And though I'm not going to push it, you can use bottle dressing too. Because there are some really wonderful kind of chefy bottle dressings
Right,
now.
right.
I use Brianna a lot. They make a delicious poppy seed dressing. They have a champagne wine and vinegar
Ooh.
dressing. Very good. Okay, so that, and the grain is in there, the veggies
Roasted
go on
almonds.
the roasted almonds.
About a quarter of a cup, right? So maybe
Yep.
a little bit. Never have enough almonds in your life, right?
And then the
And that one.
veggies,
Yep,
and then the
veggies.
cheese.
Right. The veggies go on top.
And you can be creative if you like to use different veggies. You don't like asparagus, but you want to use green beans. You don't like
Yeah.
carrots, you want to use sweet potato.
Yeah, you can use
do
it
that.
whatever fresh at the market, really.
Absolutely.
You know, so
Seasonal is really good because then you know when you're doing seasonal, you're getting what you want.
we'll put this on there, and then I'm
Okay.
going to.
So this is our delicious looking serving plate. Oh, wonderful. And the grains sort of sit there.
Yep.
Wonderful.
I really should have put the veggies on top of there because the veggies kind of
Cover.
take it up to the next.
Yeah, they do.
Take it up to the next level.
And then sprinkle a little, this is shredded Parmesan. It's better tasting than the dry Parmesan for something like this. So there you are. This is the roasted veggie salad. I'm going to bring forward the fig and goat cheese salad. And I'm going to do a big reach for the nectarine and
Bulgur,
bulgur salad. So let's make
Nice
a little
summer salad.
space so they just look. These can be for summer, but these can be in the winter for lunches.
Absolutely.
They can be a little light weekend lunch. You can serve some of this with a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a cup of
Everything
soup.
goes good with the grilled cheese
Yeah,
sandwich.
or a cup of soup. They're really 3 terrific salads, and they're healthy, healthy, healthy.
Right.
Except
And
maybe
easy.
the cheese. Yeah,
Easy.
really easy. We did 3 in a
Easy
half
was-
hour.
right.
Honestly, and
And
we
we'd
did
never
no
done it.
prep except for the
Right.
pre-roasting
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
walnuts. or
Right, that's all we
whatever.
did, yeah.
Everything else was done right here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Nice
Yeah.
nice to spend the day with you.
Yeah, nice to spend the day
Thank you,
with you
thank
too.
you.
I feel like we're going to have to start to sing.
Right.
Do we have like a little song,
La
like
la.
a Get Fresh song?
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Eat these and let us know how great they are. Thanks.